Hey, welcome back to Edwin Recapped. Today we gonna explain a comedy and romance movie titled My Boss's Daughter. Warning, spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with two friends named Tom and Paul. Both of them work in Midnight Owl Publishing Company. Tom doesn't like his job because he is working there for a year, but he has not gotten any promotions. Tom still has a lot of ideas for the company, but he's afraid to tell them to his boss because his boss, Jack, is a very tough guy. Tom's boss has a beautiful daughter. Her name is Lisa, and Tom likes Lisa a lot, and Lisa also goes to the office with them in the metro. Paul tells Tom that he should go and talk to Lisa. Hearing this, Tom takes courage and sits beside Lisa. Then a woman comes in front of him who had a baby in his hand. Then Tom gets up from his seat and lets him sit on his seat. Then suddenly, the metro jerks and Tom falls on the woman's breast. And then Lisa sees this. After all, Tom returns to Lisa once again. But accidentally his briefcase opens and a gay magazine comes out of it, and then Tom feels very embarrassed in front of her. As he arrived in the office, Jack's assistant Audrey comes and tells Tom that Jack called him to his office. As Tom goes there, he sees Jack scolding an employee because he told a useless idea. As a result, Jack fired him from the company. After this, when Tom goes to Jack's office, he starts asking strange questions. Then when Tom drinks coffee there, then Tom finds the coffee a little bitter. Hearing this, Jack calls Audrey and fires her for making bitter coffee. Moments later, Tom goes out of the office without giving any idea because he was afraid that if he told his ideas then the boss might fire him. Outside, Tom meets Lisa and she asks him if he has any plans because she wants to go to a party today. Later that evening Tom comes to her house. Tom learns that Lisa has lied to him and that she has gone to a party with her boyfriend, Hans, and he's called to look after the house as Jack is also going out for a meeting. There Jack shows Tom his pet, which is very close to his heart. He tells Tom to give food and water to his pet on time, after which Jack starts leaving from there. Before leaving, Jack threatens Tom that if anything happens to the house, he will kill him. After he leaves, Tom starts watching some bikini videos of Lisa and suddenly, a man named Red comes inside the house and tells himself to be Jack's son. Red says that he has come here to get a TV guide, but it is too late and Red does not leave the house. He also irritates Tom with his words. Finally, Red gives Tom a packet and says that his father's friends will be here to pick up the packet after some time. Then you should give this packet to him. Actually, Red came here to do a drug deal, but he gives Tom the packet containing flour and flashes the real drug in the toilet. Then, the doorbell rings and Tom sees that Audrey has come here with her boyfriend. Actually, Audrey had come here to ask Jack to get his job back, but Tom tells her that Jack is not at home. But she forcefully goes to the kitchen and starts drinking. Tom explains to Audrey and her boyfriend that they both have to leave, but they both don't listen to him and start fighting. And then finally, Audrey's boyfriend leaves there and Audrey tells Tom that she doesn't have any house to live in now, so she asks Tom if she can stay here tonight. Hearing this, Tom tells her yes. Tom remembers that he forgot to give water to OJ. He immediately takes her to the toilet and gives her water from the toilet flush. When the drug dealer TJ comes to receive his packet and Tom gives him the packet containing the flour. Tom then goes to feed the owl, which was some live mice, but Tom accidentally drops them. And the mouse starts running around in the whole house and unfortunately, the owl also flies out of the house, because he got intoxicated by drinking water containing drugs. Tom gets very scared to see this because his boss likes OJ very much. Tom runs after OJ and goes to the neighbor's garden, where an old man thinks he is a thief and points a gun at him. Then Tom takes the gun from him and comes home and removes all the bullets from it. Tom sees that Audrey has called his three friends and they are all partying. Tom tells everyone to go home. After a while, Lisa also comes back home. Lisa tells Tom that she has broken up with her boyfriend Hans. Actually, Lisa did not like Hans, but she was with him simply because his father liked him because Hans is very rich. As Lisa goes to the bathroom, then Tom sees that a mouse enters Lisa's bag. Seeing this, Tom starts removing the mouse. But Lisa's underwear comes in his hand, and that mouse enters into his pants. When Lisa comes back, she thinks Tom is playing with his hot dog, but Tom explains everything to her. After this, both start talking and good bonding starts in them. Lisa dances with Tom by putting on a romantic song. She starts strip dancing in front of him. Lisa tells Tom that if you were not gay, then he would have liked it better. Hearing this, Tom gets shocked and asks Lisa who told her that he is gay. Lisa tells that her father Jack told her that he is gay. After that, Tom tells Lisa, "You have a misunderstanding and I'm not gay." Then he also tells Lisa that he had come here for her. Lisa likes to hear this, and then both of them come close and Tom kisses Lisa. After that, he goes downstairs. There, he sees TJ moving household items around. He scolds Tom that he has cheated on him. "You have given me flour instead of a drug." Saying this, TJ leaves from there looking for Red. Lisa's boyfriend Hans also comes here, and Tom learns that Hans is cheating on Lisa. Tom tells him that Lisa doesn't want to talk to him and he too should forget everything. Then Tom sees the OJ again, and Tom follows her and enters a house. The people of that house think that Tom has come to take their daughter on a date. When their daughter Julia comes down, Tom tells them that they have a misunderstanding and I am not that boy. Hearing this, Julia starts crying and feels that he doesn't like her, and then Julia's father kicks Tom out of the house. When he comes back, Audrey tells him that his friend, Tina, needs Tom's help. Tina thought she had breast cancer and wanted Tom to touch her melons and tell if it was normal. Tom starts checking Audrey and Tina's melons, and at the same time, Lisa also comes into the room and gets very angry seeing this. Tom sees that TJ is trying to rob the safe of the house. Then Tom tries to scare TJ by showing him a gun, but he is not afraid and pees all the things in the house. Then Audrey gives Tom a sleeping pill. And Tom mixes the pill with TJ's drink and then drinks it with TJ, which causes TJ to have seizures, and he starts behaving strangely. Audrey finds out about this. Then she tells Tom that if the sleeping medicine is mixed with a drink, then it acts as a poison. And then Tom gets scared after hearing this. Again, the doorbell rings, and this time it was Julia. She comes inside and starts chatting. Julia had a head injury from which blood was coming out. Now, wherever Julia was keeping her head in the room, there used to be bloodstains. Then Red and Julia start talking to each other. And then Tom goes to the garden and sees that Audrey and his friends are digging graves in the Jack's garden. Actually, they felt that TJ was dead, so they buried TJ in the ground. Lisa also comes here and learns from her that her brother Red, who has been forbidden by Jack to even come near the house, he is in the house. Also, his father's bird is also missing. Tom tries to explain everything to Lisa, but before that, TJ gets off the ground and points a gun at Lisa. Tom knew that the gun didn't have bullets. Tom stands bravely in front of TJ, and then Red hits right on TJ's head from behind, causing him to faint. Lisa is very impressed to see Tom's bravery, and Tom learns that bullets were actually present in that gun, because Audrey's friend had put bullets back in that gun. After this, Tom also learns that Jack has been calling since last 15 minutes. Lisa tells Tom to go to pick up his father. Till then, all those people improve the condition of the house. After Tom leaves, Lisa, Audrey and everyone else get involved in cleaning the house and set everything up as before. Here Tom is coming back after taking the Jack. Then the OJ comes flying and attacks Tom. Because of this, Tom does not see anything and Jack handles the car. After hearing gunshots, the police come to Lisa's house because the neighbors have complained to them. Seeing the police, all of Audrey's friends blame Tom, and the police also find Hans inside the house, who was trying to commit suicide by hanging. But due to excess weight, he falls down. And then Tom's car also gets into an accident in this house. Seeing the condition of his house, Jack gets very angry on Tom, and then the police arrest Tom. Red confesses that he came here to do a drug deal, but he put the drug in the toilet, here in the bathroom. Owl drinks the water containing the drug and he flies away again. And then the police arrest Tom and take him away. The next day, Jack sees his owl on the tree, and Jack climbs up on that tree to catch him. From the window, he hears Lisa and Red talking, and after listening to them, he realizes that he loves the owl more than his children. Jack feels very bad and then decides to reform himself. But suddenly his foot slipped and he fell down and got hurt a lot. That day, Red rescues Tom from the police station. He comes and meets Lisa, where Jack is also present. Jack realized his mistakes and he also promoted Tom. Tom and Lisa are very happy and both are together. Finally, we see all the employees who were fired by Jack, they got their jobs back. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.